house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. I've been practicing this a little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Big Easy Bets podcast. I'm your host, Logan, and with me in the studio, Nick Von Brick.
What's up?
We got Bam in the control booth.
Week 1, let's go!
Episode 230, college football week 1. Hit the like and subscribe button. We're going to pick up the pieces of a par for the course week 0. Got me again. But I've said it before, I'll say it again. If I win on week 0, I wouldn't know what to do. I would say something's not right. So, again, hit that like and subscribe button. We have a huge slate of games. I'm talking possibly the best week 1 of all time. It's the best one I can remember when you throw in the fact that we've got a gigantic top 10 matchup with LSU, but you get the number 1 versus what's Ohio State, 2, 3, top 3 ranked matchup right out the gates, getting a ton of data points on a lot of good teams. What are your thoughts post week 0?
I'm okay, I guess.
Yeah. We went 1 and 2 collectively. You got the one winner, an easy one. I would say easy. Maybe a couple fortunate breaks now, but we'll break it down in a second. Yeah, we've officially made it. Like I said, last week was the appetizer. Now, this is what we've been waiting for. The light at the end of the tunnel. We're here now. A ton of games, and we're starting early. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we close it out with Monday, getting to see Bill Belichick with his first game as North Carolina's head coach. We'll touch on a couple things before we get to that. The Saints have still yet to name a starting quarterback. And in an unprecedented turn of events, it has been pretty much like everybody going at each other's throats, like, it should be Rattler. It should be Shuck, going back and forth. After that last preseason game, I feel like everybody's like, we're fucked. Like, nobody knows who it should be in an unprecedented turn of events. I think it's a draw, and you should run Wildcat with Alvin Kamara. Let them keep battling out at practice. Neither one of them have earned the right to touch the field. Wildcat, Alvin Kamara, Kendre Miller. Do a couple read options, and then we just hope for the best. Like Ronnie Brown, Miami Dolphins era, Wildcat. I'm serious. Nobody's taking control, which says something about Rattler, who's got the year of experience, that you can't beat out Tyler Shuck, who had question marks, and then at pick number 40, second round, Tyler Shuck comes in and can't clearly separate himself from Spencer Rattler. So what do we do?
We're going to lose.
Yeah.
Every game.
But who do you start? It's like we talked about. I guess you got to go Shuck.
Yeah, you draft him. You got to go with him.
Yeah. And Spencer Rattler has not done enough to solidify himself as the starting quarterback of the team. I mean, nobody's had success against the first group. I don't dislike Spencer Rattler. And I don't dislike either one of them. I think that a lot of people need to pump the brakes with this favoritism on two guys who haven't even won a fucking game for the franchise. You're either a Saints fan or you're an individual fan of a player that you didn't know existed a year ago. So figure it out. If you're a Saints fan, we should all collectively agree that A, we're fucked. B, no one has stepped up and earned the right to be the starting quarterback. So I'm dead ass serious. I think we go Wildcat with Alvin Kamara. Run Wildcat, Kendre Miller, Alvin Kamara, and we hope for the best. But, yeah, it's going to be tough. The Saints were dead last in my power ratings. And I'm a Saints fan, clearly. So that should tell you something. I keep talking to people, too, and they're like, you really, like, we're not going to be that bad, huh? It's like, no, we're going to be fucking terrible. Like, I was having that conversation with somebody at the dealership. They were like, well, we're not going to be as bad as, like, Tennessee. I'm like, no, we're probably going to be pretty fucking bad. Like, the worst. I don't know how else to put it for you. He was like refusing to accept it. And it's like, we're going to be horrible. So buckle up. It's going to be a tough year. Hopefully Tyler Shuck can show us something and convince us that he could be the guy. And then maybe you're not right back in the quarterback market next year, but probably going to be right back in the quarterback market next year. So don't get your hopes up. A couple other things. Here we go again with the streaming services and the same yearly bullshit. Did you see YouTube's breaking news? YouTube TV?
No.
They're in a dispute with Fox. And if they don't come to an agreement by Wednesday at like 5 East, whatever, by Wednesday, it's Monday right now, we're recording a day early than we normally do. If they don't come to an agreement by Wednesday, then the Fox services will be discontinued until they can come to an agreement. That would mean Baylor and Auburn would not be broadcasted on YouTube TV. That would mean if they're crazy enough to let it get to Saturday, that Ohio State and Texas would not be broadcasted on YouTube TV. This is the worst era in the history of television, this streaming era where you got to pay for 17 different services, and they get into disputes every single year when they got to re-up their contract with these programs. Fox has all the leverage, obviously, because we want to. It's football season. It's not a coincidence that this happens right at the start of every single football season. I think it was 2 years ago. I'm sitting there on ESPN, and I'm like, why is it black? The fucking game just kicked off. And then it pops up. They wait 20 minutes, and it pops up into the game. Can't see anything. And then it says, we tried our best, and we want to make sure that everything's fair for our customers. It's like, what do you mean? Y'all just need to pay more and get the fucking channel. I immediately signed up for YouTube TV, got rid of Spectrum. And then here we go again with YouTube TV. I would imagine they're going to come to an agreement and figure it out. This is their way of strong-arming each other and whatever. Figure it the fuck out. It's football season. Let me tell you, if we miss Baylor and fucking Auburn, I'm going back to damn Spectrum. Snip, snap. I'll flip-flop back and forth. But it's driving me crazy. What do you have?
Spectrum.
Yeah, I don't. We're going to be watching the game at fucking your house. I don't. Shit's aggravating. I'm really over it. I really am. Figure it out. Can we go back to fucking cable, please? It used to be you either had cable or you had DirecTV. And then they got crazy. They brought on Uverse. It was simpler times. Now we got to deal with fucking Peacock, Hulu, YouTube TV, goddamn whatever the hell. I'm over it. I'm over it. That's really all I got before one of the other things I wanted to talk about will fall within the recap. So I guess we can get to that unless you got anything.
No.
All right. So first game started it off in Dublin. Iowa State, Kansas State, Big 12 matchup. We were all three collectively on Kansas State -3. The biggest story of this game came after the fact when Avery Johnson's dad and brother got in a good old-fashioned Irish brawl outside the stadium, rolling around in the puddles. Probably been slamming Guinness all fucking day, arguing about design quarterback runs on fourth down, and they started beating each other's ass, and it was a stereotypical Irish family fight. And the biggest takeaway from everybody from this entire ordeal was that Avery Johnson's black. Nobody knew. I remember seeing his.
He's black Irish.
I remember seeing his recruiting or his when he signed with Kansas State. So I wasn't like, what? I wasn't thinking about it, but I wasn't like, oh, I had no idea. But that was pretty much the consensus on the internet was like, wait a second, he's black. So yeah, his dad is African American, his mom is white. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you're Avery Johnson, you got to be like, what the fuck is going on? We just lost this game. He didn't play bad, in my opinion. We'll get to it. But your dad and brother's out there fighting. They like put out a public statement like that day, the end of the day. It's like, we're embarrassed. And it's like, no way y'all wrote that. No way. The team wrote that. There's no way that came from y'all. Who do you think played better, Rocco Becht or Avery Johnson?
Avery Johnson.
I watched somebody say that the stats are not going to tell you how good Rocco Becht played, but he outplayed Avery Johnson, and I disagree. If you look at it, I think Kansas State was the better team. They had the better players. Iowa State had better coaching. We pretty much agreed to that right post-game. I did not think Rocco Becht played that well outside of a very nice ball on the touchdown, the back right corner of the end zone. I felt like he missed a couple throws high that nearly resulted in interceptions. He threw one directly to the DB that hit him right in the chest that should have certainly been an interception. I wasn't blown away with what we talked about after the fact. I was not like, wow, Iowa State looked sharp. If anything, I felt the opposite. I felt like Kansas State did everything in their power to shoot themselves in the foot. Throw in the fact, too, that they decided to have a firework display like it was the fucking 4th of July, and Dylan Edwards can't see the ball on the punt return after they force a 3-and-out to open the game for Iowa State. Kansas State's going to return a punt. Dylan Edwards can't see the ball, doesn't call fair catch, muffs it inside the 10, and then somehow gets hurt and doesn't play a single snap on offense. He's their best offensive player. And there's a little fishiness there, too, because I thought so looking back at it, and I heard a bunch of other people say, too, they're like, he walked off the field fine. Wasn't even limping. So they're like, did he get mad? Like, did they tell him? Did he just not want to play? He's an absolute bitch if that's the case. But they were saying a lot of people were trying to read his body language and all of that. And when you watch the replay, I was like, where did he hurt it?
Yeah.
You know, it looked funky. So, and he's transferred multiple times. He was committed to Notre Dame, went to Colorado. Now he's at Kansas State. Could have been somewhere else for all I know. When he's on the field, he's a great player. That was a huge hit for Kansas State to lose him. Backup running back, had space and was finding holes, and then fumbles, gives it right back to Iowa State. It's just an unfortunate break. I felt like we were on the right side, wrong result, but that's kind of an Iowa State style game. That's kind of what they do, I guess. So the Kleiman's a bad coach. He got out coached big time. And I don't think Campbell's the best coach. He's, if you want to say he's disciplined, whatever. He's consistent, but I don't think he's aggressive enough, even though he went forward on the 4th down, and that was the difference. Mm-hmm. Kleiman's 4th down calls were horrific. You might as well have just screamed to the other sideline, we're going to run it. That was the difference in the game, was coaching. So a frustrating start, but like I said, par for the course. We typically struggle week 0, at least I do, and we did again. My second play of the day was Fresno State and Kansas, and this had life for the first drive. And I felt pretty damn good. They had a dominant touchdown drive, and then it became very clear and apparent that Jalen Daniels is a better athlete than anybody else on the field, took care of the ball. He played an incredible game. Really did. I think he was 18 of 20, no turnovers, looked sharp, made plays with his legs. But Kansas just ran it right down Fresno's throat. And outside of that first drive, where Fresno had a lot of success moving the ball, they couldn't do anything. E.J. Warner did not look bad in that first half. He looked really bad in the second half, and it became very clear that we did not have a shot. So it was more of a bet against Kansas, maybe too much of a disregard of Fresno State and their turnover. I felt like I was turning a corner. It's like I said, I still believe it, but I clearly still got a bad one in me here and there. So 0-2 start for me. You cashed the only winner yet over Sam Houston in Western Kentucky. I think it was, over 60? Something like that.
61.5.
Yeah, Western Kentucky poured in 41 by themselves. A couple one-play touchdowns one on the defensive side of the ball for Sam Houston. What do you got? 41. You got 65 points. So, but it felt like it was pretty clear, like it was gonna.
It hit early. It hit way before the game ended, and then Sam Houston kind of in desperation mode, and Western Kentucky laying on a lead. So I don't know. I thought it kind of went how I thought. Western Kentucky's did a good job defending the run, other than a couple explosives there. Mm-hmm. One of them resulted in a touchdown, but it's kind of how I saw the game going. I thought there would be explosive plays here.
Yeah. Bam, you were also on Kansas State with us, like I mentioned earlier. So tough start for all of us, but 1-1 for you. So you're okay. 0-2 just feels like 0-20. It does. It feels like we're done. But with that being said, I have 10 plays this week. So this is not going to be for lack of trying this week. I do feel good about all of them. I told you coming into week 0, I was like, I love the board for week 1. These lines have been up for so long.
Yeah.
That's the thing. This is a unique week where that's why we're recording on Monday. This is going to be the only time of the year that we can record on a Monday because no NFL. So next week we'll have to wait till Monday Night Football's over, and or I guess we could do it next week if we wanted, but once NFL's back, we got to wait till Monday Night Football is complete. So, yeah, also I forgot to mention, so we drafted our fantasy teams. Yours is power ranked number 1. Bam's is power ranked dead last. Second to last, maybe.
Yeah,
Second to last.
11th. Calm down.
But you had the lowest week 1 projections.
Yeah, projections don't mean anything.
They do a little bit, though. They're typically going to let you know if you're going to have a contender or not.
I think my team's pretty good.
Yeah, but you always think that.
Yeah, but I won the league one time with the last power ranking. So.
Yeah, that was just a one-off. That was like the COVID years and all that. That was funky. But looking at Bam's team, I don't think it's really that good.
Yeah, I haven't even really looked at anybody's team. I just knew by the draft, like, some of these people don't have any idea what they're doing.
Well, it's like I kept taking players that I'm like, they shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Like T. Higgins at the end of the 3rd round in a 12-man league shouldn't be there. Trey McBride in the 4th round. So if you look at, we'll start with Bam's team. So Bam has Jalen Hurts. I felt like you reached on Hurts. Breece Hall, Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, Calvin Ridley, Tucker Kraft, Ricky Pearsall. That's a tough team.
Ricky Pearsall is going to scare a lot of folks this year.
I don't know that he is, though.
I thought he got good value with Kraft because Kraft was there really late.
Was he? I like Kraft. But Ridley, I don't know. We'll see.
That all depends on if Cam Ward can do his thing.
Well, yeah, obviously. You do have Jaden Reed on the bench. But then we look at your team. You've got Baker, Saquon, Kyron Williams, Mike Evans paired with Baker, like it, DJ Moore, Brock Bowers, Pickens, and yeah. You don't think there's regression out of Baker?
I don't know.
Maybe a little bit.
I think, with Godwin coming back. Ibuka?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think there's more weapons than last year.
You think Egbuka's good?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's in my flex.
Ibuka.
Yeah, I got Kyler Murray, questionable there. But Ashton Genty, David Montgomery, questionable there. I understand. But T. Higgins, Brian Thomas, Trey McBride, Egbuka, Jordan Addison, Waddle, Charbonnet. Picked up Cade Otton, Keon Coleman.
Yeah, Waddle's going to be good.
Waddle's on my bench
Keon
right
Coleman, too.
Yeah. I'm got an abundance of receivers. I already tried to make a trade with Brian. Just trying to get A-Chain off of him. Offered him Montgomery and Waddle for A-Chain. He denied it. But so, yeah, anybody in that league that's listening, I'm willing to trade you Montgomery and a wide receiver on my bench of your choice for a good running back. So same offer for you, too. If you don't want Kyron Williams, you think Waddle's going to be that good, I'll give you Montgomery, too.
Yeah, I don't know. I keep waiting for Montgomery just to
fade away. Yeah, he's touchdown dependent.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of trying to get off
But
of
I don't know. Every year, it's like he's still involved a lot.
Yeah. Alrighty, let's get to it. Again, as always, the best bets will be time-stamped in the description. We'll start it off with Thursday. Do you have anything for Thursday?
Yeah.
How many?
1.
Is it the first one?
No.
Not Boise, South Florida? All right, well, I'm on it. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was very conflicted on the side, and I almost decided to just stay away. But we're going to take a look at the total here. Ashton Genty's obviously gone. Maddox Maxon returns for Boise. They do bring in Malik Sherrod from Fresno State, and then they have Sire Gaines. I think that they're going to have success running the football. It's obviously none of these guys are Ashton Genty. I don't think it's going to be as steep of a drop-off, though, as some people may think. I think they'll have a solid rushing attack. Byron Brown is back for South Florida. He missed a lot of time last year with an injury. Kind of battled it really for like what felt like 2/3 of the season. He's talented when healthy, but I question if it's more hype than substance. He's a popular player. When Byron Brown got hurt, they were trailing 31-7 against Tulane, getting dominated. Tulane's clearly a comparable program to Boise State, if not inferior. So it's not like he was lighting it up on the way out the door. He got hurt late in that game in the second half. The thing with Boise on the defensive side of the ball is they love to they lose some sack production, but the way that their style that they play, they just send those all-out blitzes. It can leave the door open for some big plays, but it can also derail drives and knock you out of field goal range. Or it's very boom or bust. But USF's defense, believe it or not, graded out very well by Pro Football Focus, 39th overall. But when you dive into the numbers, they were number 133rd in passing yards allowed, but number 120 as well in yards per completion. So their secondary, they return a decent bit of guys. They have experience in the secondary. The problem was they gave up the big play. Long story short, we're going to go under 63.5. I think the number's too big. I don't know that Maddox Madsen is going to be able to, within the absence of Ashton Jeanty, I got to see how good he's going to be and if he can conduct the offense as efficiently as he's going to need to if they're going to hit this over. I leaned Boise for what that's worth. I think people are a little too high on USF. Obviously, probably going to be hot and humid down there, so it'll be interesting how Boise does. Historically, I think they've actually done pretty well in Florida. You can date all the way back to when Hank Bachmeier upset Florida State. That was a good time. I just think the number's a little too high here. And yeah, we're going to go under. You got any thoughts on it?
No, not really. I didn't even I mean, I know money was coming in on USF, so yeah. Where it's at now, though, I kind of start to lean Boise.
Yeah, it was. I think it opened 8.5 in favor of Boise, and then money came in, like you just mentioned, and then now you're sitting at 6.5. I think you could even find. I think you could even find a 5.5 heavily juiced. I wouldn't necessarily go that direction, but it might be time to get in on Boise. I'm going to stick with just the under for this one. Actually have the next game at 5 p.m. as well. Are you on that by chance?
No.
Okay. I will go into that one really quick then. It's Rutgers in Ohio. Rutgers is 15-point favorites. The total 49.5, give or take. Try to pull up. You see a better number than that by chance, Bam? 5 o'clock game on Thursday? No. No.
I mean, you can get 49, but...
No, there's 49.5.
Yeah, 49.5 is the best.
Yeah. I don't want 49. Damn it, we're going under. Callie McManus is back at quarterback for the Scarlet Knights. Kyle Monangai off to the NFL, having some success in the preseason with the Bears. Parker Navarro, made popular by Timothy Chalamet on game day, is back at quarterback for Ohio. Both teams want to run and control the clock. You know what you're getting with Rutgers. Although every now and then they'll kind of shock you and let Callie McManus kind of throw the ball all over the field, at least attempt to. Last year, Ohio ranked 9th in average time of possession. Rutgers was 26th. Ohio was 10th in rushing yards per game. It's worrisome how much production Ohio loses on the defensive side of the ball. But with these MAC teams, it's not so much about top-tier talent. It's more about scheme and coaching, and I think that they will be able to replace that production. I don't think you're going to see a crazy drop-off in terms of defensive numbers. We're going under 49.5. Slow it down. Run the ball. No bullshit. It's a low number for a college game, I understand, but I think it's low for a reason. We're going to go under 49.5. What is your first play for Thursday?
Miami, Ohio at Wisconsin. Wisconsin 17-point favorites. The total's 39.5. It's kind of an ugly one. I'm going to take Wisconsin minus 17, even though, we're looking at an ultra-low total. Wisconsin offensively returns 3 of their 5 offensive linemen from a year ago. They had a transfer from Central Michigan at left tackle. Overall, I think the offensive line is still in good shape at running back. They still don't have that lead back that they're accustomed to. It's going to be a committee of guys. And then at receiver, they return a couple guys, add some depth via transfer portal. But the big get they get is Billy Edwards at quarterback from Maryland. maybe forced to do a little too much last year at Maryland. I think he'll probably find some more success playing complementary with Wisconsin's defense. Certainly an upgrade to Braden Locke, I think. Defensively, Wisconsin lost some talent, but overall, I still think they're still a solid team defensively. This is more so a bet against Miami, Ohio's offense. They lost some guys over there. New faces on the offensive line, new faces at the skill position, but this is really a big bet against Daquan Finn. I do not like Daquan Finn at all. I think he was okay at Toledo a couple years ago in the MAC.
Didn't he go to Baylor?
Yeah, Baylor last season, didn't do much there.
Got beat out by Robertson.
I think he's an overrated rushing threat. I think this Wisconsin defense will probably contain him there. I think overall, Miami of Ohio's success offensively will be very limited here. So we're going to lay the 17 points with Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean, the total's telling you they don't think they're going to do shit. So being such a low number, 39.5 with a 17.5 point spread. So, yeah, I wouldn't
be surprised if Miami of Ohio can't find the end zone in this one.
Okay. Did I say? I thought I said I had 4 for Thursday, maybe. Oh, no, I do have 4. Christ. Where are we? All right. ECU and NC State. Interestingly enough, this is a rematch of the bowl game, the Military Bowl last year, where ECU upset NC State, a game in which NC State didn't really care to play. You could tell ECU obviously really wanted to win it. Some bad blood. Dorn opened up his ACC press conference at the media day saying how they remember what happened and they're coming for this one and blah, blah, blah. I like both quarterbacks, believe it or not, in this matchup. I think Hauser is he doesn't necessarily have the stats, but ECU's a very run-heavy team. I think he's more productive than what his stats will tell you. He's just got to clean up turnovers, and if you're going to turn it over, let him take it back to the house because we're going to go over 61 in this one. CJ Bailey is back for year 2. I think he's a pretty talented quarterback. I think it was a funky year for NC State. That was the Grayson McCall getting hurt in the beginning of the year, and then a very down year for what we have grown accustomed to with NC State's defense, especially at the linebacker position. They've always had multiple NFL quality linebackers. I would imagine that you're going to see an improvement on the NC State defensive side. But both teams ranked outside the top 80 in passing yards allowed. ECU does have to replace an 1,100-yard rusher in Rajay Harris. But Anthony Smith at wide receiver, I think, is somebody that can test NC State's secondary. I just think we're going to see points in this one. So we are going to go over 61. East Carolina is going to have to push the pace. I think they will. So, yeah, we're going over 61. And then that's it for Thursday for you, right?
Yep.
All right. I said I have 4. I do have 4. We're going to 8 p.m. ESPN. Nebraska taking on Cincinnati in a neutral site game. Do you know where this game's being played, Bam?
I do not.
Arrowhead Stadium. You know who plays there?
Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. Who's their quarterback?
Of who?
Of the Chiefs.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. You know who loves Patrick Mahomes?
Who's that?
Dylan Raiola, quarterback of Nebraska. Looks just like him. Said he couldn't help that God made him look just like him. God didn't make you wear the sunglasses and the chains and do the pregame warm-up, but we're not going to get into that because we're going to take Nebraska -6.5. Sorsby returns for Cincinnati, but he has almost an entirely new wide receiver room. And then talented running back Tawi Walker does come in. But Sorsby showed flashes in spots, but if you look at how they finished down the stretch, he really, really struggled last year. 1 touchdown in the final 4 regular season games. The offense was abysmal. I like what Nebraska did in the portal at wide receiver, going to get Dane Key out of Kentucky and Neziah Hunter out of Cal. I think they got Raiola some weapons. I think they're going to have a balanced offense running the football and then hitting the big play when it presents itself. Sorsby does worry me a little bit. Like I said, he has the ability, but the consistency is not there. Look, you're going to let Dylan Raiola fucking go get ready in Patrick Mahomes' locker. Good luck, pal. We're going Nebraska -6.5. I just think they're going to wear him down. Nebraska has that D lineman. What's his name? Corleone, one of the better D linemen in the country. I'm interested to see how the interior of Nebraska's offensive line. I think I said Nebraska. Cincinnati has Corleone in the D line. I'm interested to see how Nebraska's offensive line in the interior can hold up. But if we can get to a balanced offense, I think Nebraska could lay a big number here. So we will take -6.5. What is your next one? Anything for Friday?
No.
God damn. We got football every day. We do this every year. If there's football on Thursday or Friday, college football.
I was almost on some Fridays, but too much fucking fluctuation.
What were you thinking about?
I was really torn in Auburn and Baylor. Like, I could go either way on the side there.
I agree. I think I'm staying away.
And then
we obviously are on Baylor in terms of future bets and conference stuff. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was looking at Georgia Tech, but fours are gone now. And then I think it might still be at 5 at ESPN, but it did touch 5 some places and then jump down quickly.
Yeah, it's still at 5. Everywhere else it's painted 4.5, and that is the game that we are going to. Full disclosure, I got this game at 4. For the sake of the podcast, I am still going to give it out at 4.5 against my better judgment. I really do just think Georgia Tech is going to have a serious advantage here. Yeah, we're going to lay it right out the gates. It's fading Dion in Colorado State in Colorado week 1, again, not been profitable for us in years past. It's been a interesting offseason with Dion battling the cancer and all kinds of health issues. I was never high on Caden Salter, if you listened to us last year. I don't think either one of us were, really. It was a very poor year for Liberty, a team that was not expected to really have any hiccups along the way. I'll never live down the Kennesaw State game that y'all fucking backed me into a corner to not take. And we ignored a clear-cut sign. Something like that, that's a once-in-a-lifetime. That's a once-in-a-lifetime. They were like 30-point underdogs. You said it would be one of the biggest upsets in college football history. They won the game.
Yeah.
They won the game. Colorado has to replace so many talented players on offense. And then the Heisman Trophy, in quotation, Heisman Trophy winner in Travis Hunter. Ashton Jeanty should have got it. But you're trying to replace a 6th-round quarterback fighting for a roster spot in Shedeur Sanders. Add in Dion's been dealing, like I said, with all the health issues and all of that. It's hard not to like Brent Key, the run-the-ball philosophy as an offensive lineman. They do lose production on the offensive line. They have to replace the left tackle, the center, and the right tackle. But they do return experience at both guard positions. I think offensive line is going to be just fine. You have a mobile quarterback with Haynes King, and then Jamal Haynes at running back is a great running back. I'm high on Eric Rivers, the transfer wide receiver. They lose Singleton. That was the big offseason news. Number 1 wide receiver in the transfer portal. Stylistically, though, I just think Georgia Tech is going to be able to – they're going to be able to handle Colorado. I'm going to be honest with you, and I'll take your opinion on this. What do you think about a Georgia Tech -2.5 first half? Because that's one I was considering as well. Like I said, I have 4 for the sake of the podcast. I'm not going to give out a 4 on the record because it's no longer available.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just kind of got scared away a little bit because of the way Colorado's just performed to open the season since Deion Sanders got there. So
it's different now.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You don't have – I thought they had a ton of talent, NFL talent at wide receiver. And then
it's not even that you just lost Hunter and Shedeur. You lost Jimmy Horn. You lost the kid from Mandeville.
LeJontay Wester.
Yeah, LeJontay Wester was, in my opinion, the fact that I glossed over him is crazy. I thought he was the best wide receiver they had. So it's a ton of people to replace. You know?
Yeah.
Do we go -4.5? I'll leave it at 4.5. So
yeah, that's what I would do.
We'll go Georgia Tech -4.5. I'd rather it be 4. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. All right, what is your first one for Saturday?
Northwestern Tulane.
Okay.
We're gonna take the 5.5 points with Northwestern, even though there's a 6 at ESPN. Okay. But I bet 5.5. If you can get to ESPN, take the 6. But
well, Christ,
I'm gonna just go ahead and say I think Tulane's a little bit overrated here. I think too much to replace, really. The quarterback, your running back, who was a stud.
Yeah.
At receiver, there's a ton of new faces. Offensive line, three new faces.
Hughes went to Oregon, right? I think Mekhi Hughes went to Oregon. I'm almost certain. And then obviously Mensa went to Duke.
Yeah, and I like Preston Stone. Some people might call me crazy, but I'm not sure that Kevin Jennings is better than him. I just think Preston Stone kind of was in a little bit of a funky situation with an offensive line, and a mobile quarterback worked better on that team. And then I love Cam Porter at running back. I think he's a running back that Northwestern can lean on in this one. So I'll take Northwestern.
I thought about it. I wouldn't. I'll just let you go. I'll let you go on your own. But Preston Stone's clearly a talented guy. I mean, was he a 5-star? Might have been.
I don't know.
Could be wrong on that. But point being, he's a talented quarterback. You never know. Maybe some people just can't handle the competition aspect with Kevin Jennings breathing down his neck, and maybe he gets tense. If you hand him the keys at Northwestern and he knows he's got nobody behind him, maybe he plays a little more free and loose. But I definitely like that.
But yeah, and you look at Tulane's defense, man, it really struggled at the end of last year.
Yeah.
Let's pull up.
No, it did. I can probably pull it up for you here in a second, unless you got it.
I can't remember, but I know the last 3 games they really struggled.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't pull up previous scores.
Because goddamn ESPN is changing everything. Like the whole format of the...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the last 3 games last year they gave up over 30 points per game.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you are correct, but I can't fucking find it. We got a guy over there with 2 computers in front of his face, but take your time, man. What are you, napping? All right, my next one, I am going to shortly after Tulane Northwestern, 11:45 on Saturday. We are going to Toledo versus Kentucky. Kentucky's 8-point favorites at home. Total sits at 48.5. This is going to be a combination of me liking Toledo's moves in the offseason while really not liking the direction that Kentucky's going. I think that Stoops is – I think it's – his time at Kentucky is pretty much over. I think it's very stale at this point. It doesn't – there's no hope in that program. Barry and Brown, see you later. Come on down to LSU. I just don't know where the spark for this Kentucky program is. Tucker Gleason's back at quarterback for Toledo, and then they have Chip Trainum previously at Kentucky, if I remember correctly, and then Ohio State before that. He comes in at running back. Their top 2 tacklers are gone for Toledo, but again, in the MAC, it's more about defensive style and not so much about talent at the position. Toledo's defense was pretty damn good last year. Kentucky's going to go with Zach Calzada. Among a ton of other transfers, Calzada's bounced around like a used rag. So he doesn't really do it for me. Outside of a touchdown, I'll take Toledo here. I think this would be a huge start to the season. I just don't really like where Kentucky's at this point in time. So we will go Toledo +8. What's your next one?
We'll have my lock, and then I have 2 plays for LSU Clemson.
Christ.
So
okay,
you want to wait.
So you have LSU Clemson and then your lock.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll wait then. All right, we're going to go to Alabama, Florida State. Bama's laying 13.5 points. And their fans are panicking because there's new sod laid on the field for Florida State, and there's rain expected in the forecast. And they are hitting the panic button because they think that favors Florida State. Castellanos, mobile quarterback. He is back in Florida after a stint with Boston College, and so are 4 transfer offensive linemen expected to start. On the other side, it's continuity for Alabama, who arguably has the number 1 offensive line coming into this year, led by Caden Proctor and Parker Brailsford. It's transfer portal roulette yet again from Mike Norvell. Rain or no rain, I'm going to lay the points here with Bama. I think they have a significant advantage in either side of the ball in the trenches. Ty Simpson has to prove that he's good enough to win it all, but I think he's going to be good enough to win this game and cover the number. Too many weapons at receiver. Jam Miller, worth noting, is not expected to play in this game. That is certainly noteworthy, although Jam Miller did not really wow me last year. I think he did not live up to the expectations going into the season. I just think there's a significant advantage for Bama in the trenches. So, and you want to get off to a good start after hearing all the noise last year and the poor finish down the stretch. I think DeBoer, I wouldn't put it past him to put a big number up on the screen here. And I just think that they can be a little more dynamic on the offensive side of the ball with the true passing quarterback. Milroe was a crazy athlete, couldn't throw the ball to save his fucking life. Could run all over LSU, but can't throw the ball. I think Ty Simpson's going to give them a little more balance. And I just really don't think that it's going to translate for Castellanos. He showed flashes at Boston College playing inferior competition. I don't know that that's going to translate to Alabama. There's just too many dogs on that side of the ball on defense. So we will lay anything under 2 touchdowns. We will lay it with Alabama minus 13.5. You have any opinions on that one?
Yeah, that's definitely which way I would lean.
Yeah, I'm pulling the trigger this week.
I think overall they're just the biggest question is quarterback, right?
Yeah.
But overall team, one of the best teams in the country.
Well, Castellanos is coming out too and saying like, just talking a lot of shit. And it's like, that's great and all until you got to go play them. But Alabama has struggled with those Florida teams to start the season. We saw it with South Florida last year. Granted, it was a sloppy, rainy game. This might be a sloppy, rainy game, I understand. But yeah, we're going to lay it. We're going to lay the points with Bama. Let's see. Next up on the list is LSU Clemson. So I guess we can keep it in chronological order. Bam, what day is you have 2 bets?
3.
Christ, you added a third. I just told him stick with 2. I just told him stick with 2.
I have 1 on Friday and 2 Saturday.
What's your Friday?
I'm taking Auburn minus 2.5.
That's crazy, fading our fucking Baylor stock.
I would take Auburn if they weren't talking about playing 2 quarterbacks.
Oh, are they?
I'm pretty sure they're talking about playing Ashton Daniels and
Oh, that's a terrible fucking idea.
And
I'm not shitting on. Look, there's money on Auburn, and there's.
I'm pretty sure I've read that. That's why I didn't want to bet Auburn.
The reason why I'm not going to have action on this one. Clearly, if you listen to our look aheads and our Big 12 breakdown, you know we're high on Baylor. They return a ton of people on the offensive side of the ball, but I think Auburn's defense is going to be pretty good. SEC defense. I just want to get my eyes on it. So I'm not knocking you for taking Auburn. I don't think you're crazy for doing it. But I do like Baylor. Getting points at home, you got to like that. But we'll see. I'm going to be glued to this one for sure. Do you have anything else on Friday, or you said just the 1 on Friday?
Just 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday.
What's your next one for Saturday?
Bama minus 7 first half.
Okay. Don't hate it. And then what do you want to give your last one?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
I'm taking another first half. Arizona first half minus 9.5 versus Hawaii.
Where'd you get that one from? I don't believe you. That's a good play. You pulled that out on your own?
Yep.
I don't buy it.
I swear.
I don't buy that at all. There's a lot of speculation that the quarterback for Hawaii is not going to play. Were you watching that Hawaii-Stanford game, limping all over the field?
Yeah, he was banged up.
Yeah, speculation that he is not going to go, and then if the guy behind him is like a JUCO transfer. So I don't hate that play at all. I mean.
Those are my 3.
That one just smells like you were fucking Googling or something over there. Are you going to have anything on Texas, Ohio State? Maybe we touch on that one really quick. I'm not going to have anything. I do, but I'm not going to have anything official on the podcast. I took a 3 with Texas weeks ago. I didn't think it would touch 3. I thought we would see money come in on Texas, which we have. It looks like it's down to Ohio State minus 1.5. Maybe it's back around 2.5. I'd be surprised if we see a 3 again, but which way would you lean? I was more or less playing numbers there. Like I said, I didn't think it would.
Yeah, I don't think three comes back. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of leaned Ohio State, but not enough to take the bet.
Yeah. I clearly lean Texas, taking the 3, like I said, playing numbers, but I would still take Texas. I'm just not going to for the sake of the podcast. But this is one like what a gift to get this week 1. You get to firmly figure out about Texas and Ohio State right off the bat.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of question marks about both teams. Obviously, both of the quarterbacks. Manning has a lot of hype, but I'm kind of a critic of his, I guess, or a doubter, maybe. Got to see it first. And then...
a skeptic.
Yeah. And then the defensive coordinator for Ohio State gone, Jim Knowles to Penn State. And then Texas, I think their secondary coach is a defensive coordinator somewhere else now. So
yeah, so Patricia comes in for Ohio State. I hate Matt Patricia. I've never liked him. I really haven't. So that's one. He's not Jim Knowles, so they're going to take a step back. How much of a step back are they going to take is the question. It could be very minimal, but I don't like Matt Patricia at all. I never have.
Yeah, I think both of the defenses are good, so I was kind of looking at the under. It's a little bit too low, though. Would like it to be closer to 49 to take the under, but
yeah. A lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball. Jeremiah Smith, you got Wingo for Texas. You got some good wide receivers. So, yeah, this is going to be a sit back and watch for me. Well, other than I have, for the sake of the podcast, I'm not going to have action on it, but yeah. All right, we'll go to LSU and Clemson. So is it safe to say that this is the biggest game in Brian Kelly's tenure with the program?
Yeah.
I think bar none, this is the biggest game. I don't want to see any more banging the table and we're here talking again. Go win the fucking football game. Go win the fucking football game. Oh, we got to schedule these tough teams week 1. Go beat them. And then you control your own destiny at that point. Like, we put ourselves behind the 8 ball year after year after year. Unfortunate luck of the draw that you scheduled Florida State when they went on their best run since Jameis Winston. And they go undefeated the following year or the second year. But then USC, you lose a game to USC that team wasn't that good. This is a new season. This is a go for broke. We pushed all of our chips into the center of the table. Everybody was laughing when Bryce Underwood flipped and went to Michigan. They paid him a bag in the middle of the night. But that was the silver lining. That was the blessing in disguise for LSU because it said, hey, y'all have a lot of money. Now you can go spend it. And we did. And I think it's almost the reverse of 2019 where you had the homegrown kids and then you had this mercenary come in from Ohio State at quarterback. Now you got the homegrown kid at quarterback with a bunch of paid fucking assassins on the outside. Nothing but studs at wide receiver. It's now or never. Go win the fucking football game. No funny business. No bullshit. I think people are sleeping on LSU. I think they're overhyping Clemson, a Clemson defense that had all those players on the team last year. Just to give you a little fucking hint on which way I'm going. Which way are you going, or how are you? I'm fired up. I'm trying not to let it.
Yeah, I'm on side and total, so it's gonna be a fucking nightmare watching this game.
Yeah,
because the team I bet on, I'm gonna want them to score touchdowns, but I'm also not gonna want them to score too many touchdowns.
Which means you're on the under.
Yeah. So I'm going under 57.5. There's a lot of talk about the quarterbacks, right? A lot of talk about the transfers on offense for LSU that are going to add a lot of receiving threats. But I think one thing that goes underlooked for LSU and what's a staple for Clemson is the defense. I think LSU's defense is going to be rock solid this year. So I kind of look at this and I'm kind of seeing a defensive matchup here. That I think LSU ends up winning because they have the superior quarterback. So I'm going to go LSU minus 3.5, minus 105, and we're going to take under 57.5. Yeah, LSU plus 3.5. You got that right.
Plus 3. So I've got... So money came in on LSU today. I've been on this for a while. I got a 4.5. Or I'm sorry, I got a 4, and then I got a 4.5 when it touched 4.5 very short for a short amount of time. What are we currently working with? No, there's 4s. Yeah, there's 4s.
I would take 3.5 minus 105.
Yeah, but
I just love taking. I love paying less on the juice.
No, I know, but for the sake of, yeah, they have minus 110 for. We got to go 4 for the sake of the podcast. Just take the 4. You can advise a 3.5, but for the sake of the record and all of that, take the 4.
I mean, they're gonna fucking win the game outright. Why do I want to pay more in the tax?
No, I know. So everybody listening, for the sake of the number that we're gonna have on the show, just go with 4.
Yeah. I mean, I like plus 3.5 at 105
because it keeps everything uniform with a minus 110 and all of that. So
you can still lose by a field goal and win the bet.
Yeah, definitely. I understand that. Yeah, I think people are sleeping on LSU and what they did in the transfer portal. It's a very popular thing going around right now that, this is a weak transfer portal. It's not as good as it has been in years past. Well, we got all the best options. So if you want to say collectively it's a weak transfer portal, sure. But there's plenty of guys that were in this transfer portal that would have fit near the top of last year's great transfer portal or the year before that. So spare me that it's a weak transfer portal. You want to say as a whole, sure. But you went out and you got fucking Barry and Brown. You got Nick Anderson. In the middle of the night, in the 11th hour, you got A.J. Halsey, the number 1 safety. You got Gooden at defensive tackle, right around the same time. You get Pyburn from Florida. You get Patrick Payton, who's not even running with the 1s. He's running with the 2s. That tells you how deep we are on the defensive line. What has Cade Klubnik done? I understand he had a good year last year. But for them to just basically unanimously say that Clemson has the better offense in this one, why? Why? I really don't understand. I don't know. I think Caden Durham's a great running back. You got a 5-star number 1 running back in Harlem Berry. You got Jackson at running back. The question for LSU is going to be the offensive line. But you went and made moves there too. Braylon Moore from Virginia Tech, Josh Thompson from Northwestern. You got guys. I am higher on the offensive line. And if you read between the lines or read the tea leaves, whatever you want to call it, I think the offensive line's good. I think that the defensive line's just great. And I think the linebackers, you know what you have. I think at corner we're going to be very good. Mansour Delane's going to be a stud. Tamarcus Cooley's going to be a stud. You went out and got a bunch of fucking paid assassins to come in and fill all the areas of need. No more Major Burns. No more dickhead at Ole Miss fucking looking for, what's his fucking name?
Sage Ryan running, looking at the sky.
Stupid ass fucking idiot. It's now or never. Brian Kelly put his fucking money up, put his money where his mouth is. You win this game, dude. Look, I already said I'm on LSU 20-1. You can't find a 20-1 anymore. It's now down to like 14-1. You win this game, it's going to be fucking 10-1 or less. You win this game, you control everything. You can have a hiccup in conference play. You don't win this game, you can't have a hiccup in conference play. So, dude, this is the most high-stakes football game in Brian Kelly's tenure with the program, and it's winnable. I think people are sleeping on LSU. This should not be any higher than 3, and we think they're going to win outright. But the fact that this is a 4-point spread right now is ridiculous. Cade Klubnik, go look at Clemson when they played a step up in competition. You made a good point. Go look at SMU when they had to go on the road and play Penn State and what that defensive line did to Kevin Jennings. Fucking rattled them. Clemson did not have that success. Oh, they've got Peter Woods and TJ Parker and Woodaz, and who gives a fuck? They were on the team last year. They think they're anointing all of these guys as all top 10 first-round picks and don't give a shit. I don't care. I'm feeling confident. Maybe it's delusion. Maybe we'll fucking eat crow when we're here next week. But I don't think so. I think we're going to – dude, Barry and Brown, Barian Brown is about to fucking. That's why I talked about this. Emory Hunt played football for UL. I put a video about this earlier. I could not believe it. He's fading LSU because of the wide receiver room.
Yeah, he's delusional.
Am I crazy for thinking that's crazy? He said, well, yeah, they don't have a big body guy. They normally have a big body guy. And he's like, they don't have anybody 6 foot. He's like, normally they have a guy 6 foot, 6'1". Chris Hilton's 6 foot. But please, yeah, disregard the fact that Nick Anderson, 6'4", set the freshman touchdown record for Oklahoma. Now he's on the team. Trey'Dez Green. I said it in the video. He's listed as a tight end. But it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, no, this is
He's going to dominate in the red zone.
This isn't as good of a wide receiver room as it was in 2019, but it's deeper.
Yeah, 100%. No, it's certainly not.
A lot of these guys are going to contribute.
Kyle Parker's going to be
4 or 5
good.
guys are going to contribute.
Destin Hill. Fucking, no, dude, they're sleeping. But Avery Anderson might be the best one. Then you got what? Thomas. It's literally, it's incredibly deep. So for your handicap to be, that's what's frustrating because I got to lose with Kansas State when I felt like they should have won. And then you got jackasses like this saying, yeah, I don't like LSU. You don't like the deepest position group on the fucking team? That's the number one thing that stands out is, wow, they've got talent at wide receiver. Like, what are we even talking about? And then I got people messaging me. Yeah, they can't even do me the liberty of fucking, I have to decipher whether or not they're talking shit to me or not. This guy said, I put out the video like, well, because I lost on fucking week 0 again. Felt like Kansas State should have won. Did a quick little recap. And the guy was like, don't worry, we got it back with Kansas. I'm like, I was on the other side. I'm like, just call me a fucking idiot or don't. But I don't want to have to go like, is he being serious or is he not know that I took Fresno State? Like, I don't want to have just spare me the having to decipher on if you're insulting me or not. Just do it. But that's what I got to deal with. Look, we might be drinking the Kool-Aid again. We might be delusional fans again.
I don't think so. I'm fucking hyped about this defense.
Yeah.
We watched a spring game.
Yeah. No,
There's
fucking
talent
good.
littered in the defensive backfield.
They were glued to the wide receivers.
It's like, I don't see LSU's defense letting them down here.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
And then you look at, okay, you lose the 2 tackles, but then Bauer Sharp blocking tight end.
Yeah. Number one question's offensive line. How do we hold up against Clemson's defensive front? And if they do get pressure, how does Nussmeier react? But it's like, goddamn, can we just, dude, come out with a good scheme. Come out out-coach somebody. Fucking, it's time for Blake Baker to make his money. I think he will. I mean, he's made his money, but it's time to earn your money. I have very, very high hopes. And I think people are sleeping on LSU because of what we've seen in years past. Every single opening game for Brian Kelly losing when in a lot of instances where we should have won. You should have beat USC. You should have beat Florida State the first time. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, that tells you all you need to know. We are on LSU +4. You're on the under 57.5?
Yep.
Okay. All right. I am also got at least, I think I have 2 more. We're going late night. So after LSU gets the win, we're going to wind down with Utah versus UCLA. It's going to be an incredible Jersey game. You've got Nico Amaliava, quarterback in UCLA. You got Devin Dampier. If you don't know him, you're going to find out about him. Quarterback in Utah. I told myself I want to live in a world where I'm up till 1 a.m. watching Devin Dampier run around the field for Utah, and so that's what I'm going to do. The problem here, I'm just realizing this is my lock. So that's a problem. But I'll just keep going. Fuck it. The problem here is I think it's too many points. I don't think that Utah, with Devin Dampier coming over from New Mexico and doing that transition to better quality football. I don't know that they should be nearly laying a touchdown right out the gates on the road. So we are going to take UCLA. I'm not in midseason form. This should have been in the locks department or category. But my lock of the week is going to be UCLA plus 6.5 at home. Nico Amaliava, the off-season dysfunction, I totally get it. He's an upgrade from what they had last year. Nonetheless, I think UCLA finished the season on a good enough note. I think that they were better than expected in spots. I just have no choice but to take UCLA here. So my lock of the week is going to be UCLA plus 6.5. I like Devin Dampier a lot. He will put the ball up for grabs sometimes. On the feet, he's dynamic. I think Foster is a terrible coach when it comes to giving a press conference. I don't think he's that bad of a head coach. And I think at the end of the day, going to get Nico, no matter how you got him, was a big get for them. So, yeah, my lock of the week is going to be UCLA plus 6.5. And then I have one more. And then I'll let you do your lock, I guess. Good?
Yeah.
All right, Sunday. Again, like I said, bear with us. We're not in midseason form yet, but we'll get there. Notre Dame and Miami, another incredible game. This is an incredible week 1 slate. Another top 10 matchup, Miami at home, taking on Notre Dame. The running it back, the Catholics versus convicts matchup. Notre Dame's 2.5-point road favorites. The total sits at 49.5. Actually, sorry, total sits at 50. Miami's got to make up for the loss of obviously number 1 overall pick Cam Ward. His favorite target, Xavier Restrepo's gone. Running back Damian Pierce is gone. Carson Beck comes in off the off-season surgery from the injury we saw in the SEC championship. And if you listen to us in the past, you know how I feel about Carson Beck. This Miami defense has potential to be extremely good, led by Reuben Bain Jr. Notre Dame thinks they found their guy at quarterback, more of a pocket passer with C.J. Carr. This game, I think, is going to be decided by 2 quality defenses, though, and 2 quality running backs in Jeremiah Love and Mark Fletcher. I don't think that the game plan is going to be for either side. You got a new guy with Carr, and then you've got Carson Beck coming into a new program with a bunch of new receivers. I don't think the game plan is going to be to come out and throw it all over the yard. I think neither team's going to want to lose the game before they can settle in. So you're going to see slow pace and running the football, obviously, with Notre Dame. But I think we see somewhat of a more conservative approach with Miami than what we saw last year with Cam Ward and how quick they were moving and how many points they were putting up on the board. I don't think Carson Beck's as good as Cam Ward, and I just don't think that they have the continuity on the offensive side of the ball yet. So we are going to go under 50 points. This has come down a little bit, but we're still going to go under. I just don't think the game plan can possibly be to air it out yet with the new QBs and wide receivers. So under 50 in Notre Dame and Miami. You got any opinion on that one?
Yeah, that's which way I would lean.
But I historically get burned by these Notre Dame unders where there'll be a pick 6 or some shit. And honestly, it's almost every single time we're together watching an LSU game.
Yeah.
It definitely happened last time. I had the TV on the bottom. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, I could see Beck throwing a pick 6.
Okay, well, let's. All right, Bam, you have one more or you gave it already?
Gave it already.
All we have left is locks?
Yes.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know if this is the right lock button. That's how long it's been. But no such thing as a lock, but if there was.
It's a lock, Kramer. You've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now. But it's a lock.
They need that fucking juice. They need that next bet. They need, come on. Yes! When they win, they go fucking crazy.
You're a bad motherfucker. Go in that shower, grab your fucking nuts, and tell the world somebody's sniffing my fucking nutsack today. Because I ain't got time to fuck around no more.
All right, I'm going Syracuse, Tennessee. Neutral site game in Atlanta. Tennessee's 2-touchdown favorite. The total's around 50.5. It might have went up to 51 last I saw. I think Aguilar might be an upgrade to Iamaleava. The offensive line, that's where the questions and concerns lie. They got to replace some guys. Running back Dylan Sampson, got to replace him as well. It's probably going to be a committee with Deshaun Bishop, Peyton Lewis, and then they add Star Thomas from Duke. All 3 should contribute. There's a lot of questions around Tennessee's offense, and rightfully so, but I think they'll be better than people think. I think Aguilar's better than people think. Tennessee's defense, this is why we're betting Tennessee here. I think Syracuse just has too much to replace offensively. Kyle McCord came in and did a fantastic job. This is a tough test for his first game. Steve Angeli. I think Tennessee's defense dominates this game. Last year, Syracuse defensively was abysmal. 82nd against the run, 74th against the pass, 122nd in yards per play allowed. I like Tennessee minus 14 here.
All righty. Might be able to get a 13.5 unless you're doing your...
I don't want to lay minus 115.
Okay.
Although, this would be the spot too.
Yeah, I don't...
But yeah, this was lower than 14 before.
Okay, that's fine. Alrighty. That is our best bets for week 1. To recap, I am taking Boise State and South Florida under 63.5, Nebraska minus 6.5, Georgia Tech minus 4.5, Rutgers and Ohio under 49.5, Alabama, Florida State I'm taking Alabama minus 13.5, LSU plus 4. We've got ECU, NC State over 61, Toledo plus 8, Notre Dame and Miami under 50, and Utah, UCLA, we're going to go UCLA plus 6.5 as the lock of the week.
Wisconsin minus 17, Northwestern plus 5.5. Tennessee minus 14 is the lock. LSU plus 4, LSU Clemson under 57.5.
Bam, your 3 are?
Auburn minus 2.5, Arizona first half minus 9.5, Bama minus 7 first half.
All righty. There you go. That is our best bets for week 1. Do you have anything to say before we go?
Nope.
Bam.
Go Tigers.
Episode 230 is in the books. Again, hit that like and subscribe button if you don't mind. I've said it before. I'll say it again. We hope you come along for the ride. This is going to be a big, exciting season. But this week 1 that we have is incredible. This might be the best week 1 of all time. Ohio State and Texas, number 1 versus number 3. LSU and Clemson, a top 10 matchup. Notre Dame and Miami, a top 10 matchup. You get Baylor and Auburn is a sneaky, great game. You get TCU and North Carolina on a Monday. I've said it a bunch of times. If you're betting on games consistently, you should be looking at multiple different sources and seeing, at least getting their opinion and seeing what they think about particular games. So if you're new to the podcast, we hope you stick around. It's going to be a fun year. Y'all have a good one. Good luck.
Always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. I've been practicing this pitch a little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.